happen. They're pressing the Irish government to have another referendum in Ireland on the same question. And what they then do, they did this in Denmark, is they look at those areas where they can undermine the no campaign enough to cross the line. Now, when the line is crossed, in other words, they've now got the decision they want, no one's then going to say, well, let's have another referendum because, we've had two and one went this way. No, we've got the result we want now. They've said, yes, we can introduce this further centralization, no more referendums. And of course, as I've said before, the more you centralize power, the more power you have to centralize even quicker. So as they centralize more power in Europe, they then have the power to say from the center, we're bringing an end to all this veto stuff. We're bringing an end to all this, you'll have a referendum to say yes or no to great constitutional and centralization of power. All that's dead, okay? We're ruling now. And, I've said in my talks when I come to Croatia that people talk about troops massing on the border, waiting to invade a country. Well, there is something amassing on the border of Croatia now. And it's not troops and tanks, it's legislation. And it is a tidal wave that is going to hit this country of 5 million people in a European Union of 500 million people. And people in Croatia are going to be staggered by the way this country changes after the government, if the people allow it, sign Croatia into the European Union. Whenever you look at these institutions and structures of these families that are behind this conspiracy, it is just like a spider's web. They catch people in a mountain of laws, rules, and regulations, sub-clauses, fine detail. I mean, the vast, overwhelming majority, I'd say 99% of legislation that is passed by politicians is legislation they have never read. And so the people who write the legislation decide what's in it. And then what happens is the politicians are given certain headlines about and a summary of what's in it, because they never read it. And then they have the debate over these headlines. But in the depth and the detail of this legislation is fantastically detailed impositions of do's and don'ts and can'ts and mustn'ts and all the rest of it, which gets passed, but is never talked about. And then people go, hold on a second, what do you mean I can't do this? That's in subclause 7B/457. Here, look. You never told me about this. It was in the legislation you voted for. And from the time that Britain went into the what is now the European Union in 73, I have watched this European Union legislation just get added to and added to and added to and added to the point where it is now dictating the fine detail of the lives of people in Britain, and 75% and growing of the laws that are introduced in Britain today originate with the bureaucrats, unelected by the way, in Brussels, and not even with elected politicians. And now, we at least, who've been in the Union for a long time, have had the ability to go with this stepping stone and see it added to. This is what is amassing on the border of Croatia. All that mountain, tidal wave, however you want to symbolize it, of legislation that has been built up in the European Union since its creation as a common market, that's amassing on the border. And soon as your leaders go, we're in, they invade. That legislation invades this nation of 5 million people. You have no idea what that means, because people are going to be staggered by how their ability to live and the decisions they can make and the impositions on you can't do this, you can't do that, are going to impact on their lives when this starts. The end of Croatia as you know it. Because we in Britain are a country of nearly 70 million people. And we have been absorbed and dictated to by these bureaucrats. Croatia is a country of 5 million people. It's going to be swallowed whole by these people. And the government of Croatia is having no debate. It is an absolute national disgrace. And if people do not start to look at this, then they should not complain when the tidal wave hits them, as it will.
Hvala, Davide. Imamo još 2-3 minute. To je daleko premalo za jedno pitanje koje biste vi mogli odgovoriti. Stoga vam zahvaljujem na sudjelovanju. Nadam se da se opet vidimo za koji mjesec s nekom drugom temom iz bogatog asortimana zakulisnih igara. Hvala vama na gledanju i doviđenja do sljedeće urote.